Hi everybody, Forata Live here with another Keyforge video. This time I'm going to be looking at some Mass Mutation decks. Mass Mutation's out. I've got a whole load of decks to look at, open, go through some new decks, check them out on stream here, and let you have a look at what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking about these decks. So let's get stuck into the first one. Now, I did a video opening up a display box, and I'll be going through some of those tonight. So the first one that we're going to be looking at is this deck, Walker, the Artisan of Pottery. So new Mass Mutation deck. A few things stood out when I went through that display box. Hopefully you can see there on the deck list. This has got Ultra Gravitron in it, so it's got that gigantic creature in Logos, autoencoder, another card I was looking out for, a few other bits and pieces, Citizen Shrix, triple Cornerstone Octavia, so interested to see how this deck plays. You'll see I've already sleeved up the decks, so let's go through it card by card and see what we have. So starting off with the Saurians. And there you have it, Citizen Shrix, the mutant form of Shrix in Mass Mutation. Play, Reap, Exalt, Citizen Shrix, and Steal 1. Consul Primus. That's put a capture enhancement into the deck. Reap, move 1 amber from a creature to another creature. Okay, and here are the Cornerstone Octavias. They've got the action Capture 2, 5 power, 1 armor, so they've got a bit of sticking power on the board, so that's nice. Next up, Defense Initiative. Now that is a card I've got to say I do like, and there are 2 in here. Play, ward a creature. You may exalt that creature. If you do, ward each of its neighbours. Siren Horn. That's an upgrade. This creature gains before fight, move 1 amber from this creature to the creature it fights. So that's another way to move amber off your creatures onto the opponent, especially if you're planning on then taking that opponent out. That can be pretty handy. So some good cards here. Next up, Spoils of Battle. It's an action. It's 2 of them, comes with an amber pip. Play, a friendly creature captures 1 amber. Each creature with amber on it captures 1 amber. So that's another really good way to pick up that extra amber from your opponent. Lots of capture in this deck. Theory Centurion, reprint. Love that. 6 power, 1 armor, play, fight, capture 1. And this one, Galea Tops. It's just a big beast. 12 power. Only deals 4 when fighting. That can be quite important because there's quite a few cards that trigger on the most powerful creature. So having a 12 power creature on the board may well cause it to collect a fair bit of amber. Now let's have a look at Sanctum. So, Bulwark. Again, mutant form, 4 power, 1 armor, assault 2. Each of Bulwark's neighbours gains assault 2. Nice. Grey Rider, card we've seen before. Play, fight, reap. You may ready and fight with a neighbouring creature. Fangs of Giselheart. Comes with an amber pip. Play, purge the most powerful creature. So not the most powerful enemy creature, but the most powerful creature. So that may or may not work in your favour. Next here, a couple of champion Anaphiels. So seen that before. 6 power, 1 armor, Taunt. Now what else have we got here? Cleansing Wave. Now that's a great card. Heal 1 damage from each creature, gain 1 amber for each creature healed this way. Then some artifacts. Font of the Eye. Omni. If an enemy creature was destroyed this turn, a friendly creature captures 1. Now I was up against a deck with a couple of these in the Mass Mutation launch event at my local store, and it made life very difficult because it's not just on Sanctum turns, it's Omni, so every turn if he was killing one of my creatures, he was able to capture 2 with 2 of them out, so that proved pretty devastating. Next up, Gorm of Om, an artifact. It's got a capture pip here. Enhancement, Omni destroy, Gorm of Om destroy an artifact. Commandeer, this is a nice card, comes with an amber pip. Play for the remainder of the turn. After you play another card, a friendly creature captures one, so again some more capture potential. Lord Golgotha, really good for spreading that damage around. Before fight, deal 3 to each neighbour. And I've got one of these mash-up mutants here, Dino Knight, quite powerful, 6 power, 2 armour, and comes with the play effect from Saurians. You may exalt Dino Knight if you do deal 3 damage to a creature, and it's got a draw enhancement here. And then finally in Sanctum, Burning Glare, comes with an amber pip. It's put a damage pip enhancement into the deck. Play stun an enemy creature or stun each enemy mutant creature. So against another Mass Mutation deck, that could be pretty handy. Okay, next up, let's look at some Logos. So, Eclectic Inquiry, quite liking this. Amber Pip, archive the top 2 cards of your deck. Bot Bookton, seen that a lot in the previews. Again, another good card. 4 power, replay the top card of your deck, so a kind of wild wormhole every turn. Effervescent Principle, always handy to see that. Each player loses half their amber rounding down, gain a chain. Autoencoder. Now this is definitely a nice looking artifact. I know a lot of people talking about this. After a card is discarded from your hand, archive the top card of your deck. So if you have an effect that causes you to discard a load of cards, or you choose to discard a load of cards, you can then put huge numbers of cards into the archives quite quickly, you know, allowing you to have some monster turns. Fission Bloom. It's put an enhancement into the deck. Action, next time you play a card this turn, resolve each of its bonus icons an additional time. Now I think in this deck that's not that great. I can see in others it could be good, but there's not really any cards with huge numbers of pips on here. Even with the enhancements, I don't think I've seen anything with more than 1 pip. Munchling. So this is a mutant, 3 power, skirmish. Fight, you may discard a Logos card from your hand or archives if you do gain 1, so a bit of synergy with Autoencoder. Titan Engineer. While Titan Engineer is not on a flank, keys cost +1. Standardized Testing, that's a nice card we've seen reprinted now. Destroy each creature with the lowest power and each creature with the highest power. Professor Torato. So he's a mutant scientist. Each mutant creature gains a Reap, draw a card, 4 power. Damage pip as an enhancement on him in my deck. Now again, I don't think this deck's got a huge number of mutants, so not necessarily the best here, and it's a symmetrical effect, so your opponent is going to get them too. Now I guess this is why this deck interested me and I wanted to cover it here on the stream. It's coming. Search your deck and discard pile for either half of a gigantic creature. Reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. Comes with an amber pip, so that's that search card. And then this is what it's all been about here really. It's Ultra Gravitron. And hopefully that's just going to fit on to the screen there. Probably shouldn't have sleeved it, but I wanted to protect it. There we go. I mean, great artwork there. I quite like this card, Ultra Gravitron. 10 power, 3 armor. Play, archive the top 5 cards of your deck. Fight, reap, discard a card from your archives. If you do, purge a creature and resolve each of its bonus icons as if you had played it. So really good effects there. Probably better than the Niflkong. Maybe not as powerful as Deus Silas with all the capturing of the amber, but good effect. What I'd say, I've played a few games with this now in real life and on TCO, and it's just coming too late for me. I think with the effects here, the archiving, absolutely fantastic, but I'm tending only to get this out kind of late game when there's only a few turns to go, and maybe it's because the other cards in this deck aren't really good enough to make an impact, but getting 5 cards into the archives, you know, a couple of turns before the end when your opponent's running away with it, it just isn't doing enough. So great card, really like it, but really like the artwork, but it's just not having that big an impact for me at the moment. I think if I could reliably get it out early in the game, then I think that gives you a big advantage with that extra archiving. So we'll have to see how it goes in a few more games, but so far not really living up to my hopes. I hoped Ultra Gravitron was going to be good. I think in certain decks, if you can get it out quickly early in the game, I think it will be a really powerful card. But really pleased to have pulled that in that first display box, picking up one of the gigantic creatures straight away. The only one I've seen in my deck so far. So just another look at the deck list again. That was Walker, the Artisan of Pottery, Logos, Sanctum, Saurian. So pretty interesting. I'm not sure it's the most powerful deck. I think, you know, Logos pretty weak there other than the Ultra Gravitron. Sanctum got a bit going on, but there's nothing really special in there. There's plenty of amber control, particularly with all the capture from the Cornerstone Octavias, but what are you going to do with it? Doesn't look super fast. There's not a huge number of enhancements. In terms of the counts, you've got 19 creatures in there, you've got 12 actions, so that's coming out pretty average, I think. In terms of creatures, 19 pretty much bang on the average, and the actions as well, 12 actions. So it's a pretty average deck. Not really seeing anything too exciting in it, but happy to have pulled it, happy to have got a gigantic creature. So that was Walker, the Artisan of Pottery.